Hello everyone, good morning, Monday. It's Monday here in Australia. If you're going to be joining me from somewhere else, just let me know, jump in and say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know. It's a bit of a spontaneous live today here on my page at I Restore Stuff. Just wanted to give you an update on the dresser that I've been working on. And so I will show you, and I also want to show you how to stain using Fusion's stain and finishing oils that I'll be using today. So just let me pull the phone off the stand for a second because I wanted to show you the dresser. If you remember last time I went live, I was showing you how to paint with Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint, and I was using the colour Artissimo, which is a lovely navy blue kind of a colour. So let me just flip you around here so you can have a look at that. Here it is here. So this is now 2 coats. I remember showing you the first coat there and how patchy it was. So this is the second coat now. And I don't know if you can tell, but there is still slight variation in the colour, and that can be to do with just the different pigments. It's one of those, milk paint is a gorgeous natural finishes. Thanks Tracy for sharing, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Oh, great view of my rubbish bin in the background. Anyway, yeah, so we're working on this one today. So this is the dresser drawers that I was showing you last week, and I'm not sure if I actually showed you the drawers. So here's the top. We'll be working on the drawers today. It's silky oak. I don't know if you can see that fleck in the grain. It's a very old piece, and there's this kind of slight join crack here, which I can't get any closer. So I'm just going to leave it there and call it character, along with these other little bits and dings and nicks and pieces. Some people ask me, do you fill all those in? Do you sand them right back? You know, I just love to see old pieces looking, you know, in their old state sometimes. Hey Jenny, how you going? And yes, hello, thank you so much everybody for joining in. I'm showing you some staining today, so we'll be working on, I've got the lovely top here from this dresser drawers that I was working on last week when I went live with you. This is Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint in Artissimo. Now this colour doesn't have its finish on it yet. I'm going to do that on another live. Perhaps I'll get there tomorrow, but we're taking a family trip to Melbourne this week, so I'm busy trying to sort things out for that. But this is the unfinished, it's kind of a porous finish with milk paint and chalk paint. That's one of the differences between these paints and, say, your mineral paints, which have a built-in top coat. So this porous finish will need to have a top coat on it. What I'll do now is sand it with about a 400 grit. But again, this is for another day. Today we're talking about finishes. So what I've done so far on this piece is I did want to fill a couple of big holes. So I've just done that using some wood filler, some wood putty. And you'll see some of those here. And I'm hoping, so what I wanted to do was give it a sort of an, excuse me, a natural colour. But what I would like to do, I don't think just doing it in a clear coat is going to quite cover these stains. I'm really hoping that if I go a little bit darker, like with Fusion Stain and Finishing Oil in the colour Cappuccino, it might cover some of those. I've done this successfully before using their black finishing oil, which is called Ebony. It's a gorgeous black colour, gives a lovely black stain, and it really covers those well. So the darker the stain you use, the better coverage you'll get of those little imperfections. So here are the drawers. And yes, you can still see where the handle marks are on this. And there's some little keyhole things here. We've taken out, popped out the little metal escutcheons, I think you'd call them. But see the lovely grain on this wood, it's silky oak. And I am going to be putting the original handles back on here. So we're leaving those as is. But I'm just going to pop you up on here, on my photo camera stand, so that I can go ahead and show you how to stain these. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. I don't have my laptop here, but I can see, hopefully I can see most of them coming through. Thanks so much. Oh, thanks Tracy. Yeah, it's a really pretty colour, that Artissimo, and I can't wait to show you the finish on that, because then it really deepens the milk paint colours. It gives it a true darker blue. It kind of looks chalky and porous right now, so that'll come up really nicely. So let me show you Fusion Stain and Finishing Oils. If you're in Australia, you can get these on my website, irestorestuff.com. And this is the colour Cappuccino, which is a dark chocolate brown. Now, I've been known to mix my finishes, and but oil-based with oil-based, so I'm only talking about mixing the colours. And for me, the cappuccino, I think, is going to be a little dark for what I'd like to use it on with these drawers. So I'm going to mix in equal parts, well, I already have mixed, one I prepared earlier, cappuccino and then natural, which is sorry, that's backwards for you guys. Natural is a clear. It's just their clear stain and finishing oil. So this one's just the finishing oil. It's got no stain in it. The stain and finishing oil is just, that's the name of it. There's the cappuccino. It also comes in ebony, which is black driftwood, which is that beautiful grey wash, and a golden pine, which is, you know, your golden pine colour. And then also the white. So there is a white stain and finishing oil, which is awesome too. So I have mixed up, and I've clearly marked it now, half strength. So I've labelled it. Make sure if you're going to be mixing your colours, label them. So I've just mixed it up in an old can of the cappuccino, which was getting down to a certain amount, and I just added an equal part of the natural. So the lighter you want to go, the more clear you can add. You can mix up your colours. So there's a handy hint for you. And we'll just open that right now. So if you're using any oil-based products, it's a great idea to wear gloves, otherwise you'll get messy. So if anyone's done that before, it's a real trick trying to get it all off. You'd need terps or some kind of mineral spirits or something like that to get that off. So I'm going to wear a glove. This one I've actually used just before. So now to apply it, you can brush it on. I've actually done a few videos of this, so if you want to go to my YouTube channel, just search I Restore Stuff on YouTube, that's me. Subscribe to my channel, that'll be great. Also, you'll find some videos, I've done lives and actual videos that I've posted here on my Facebook page, so if you want to check out some of those, just have a scroll through some of my videos. I've put them even in playlists and groups so that you can have a look at those. So you can use an applicator. I sell these on my website in Australia as well. If you're overseas, check out your nearest Fusion Mineral Paint stockist for Fusion's stain and finishing oil. You can use a brush, and sometimes I'll brush it on and then wipe off the excess with a cloth or the applicator pad, so you can do that. Or you can just use an old sock, but make sure it's lint free. So sometimes I'll just grab an old sock, or, you know, my husband, who's watching, I see you, Marty, he sometimes gets rid of his old socks, so I sneakily find them and I will wash them and they become great finishing rags. So we'll just use hubby's old sock. It's the old one, babe. It's not your good sock, I promise. Yay. Okay, so we've got half strength, cappuccino and natural here. And let me see, I'll just see if I can drag you a little bit closer to have a look at what we're doing with the drawers here. Sorry, a bit jumpy. Okay. Just working on this one. You get an uneven finish. I love all the chips and dings and imperfections. All I'm going to do is to dab a little bit on the cloth. So let that soak in. And we're going to be going evenly across in nice even strokes. So it's a lovely dark colour, but if you wanted the true cappuccino colour, just don't use the half strength, use the full strength, and it will be even darker than this. So I'll show you a close-up in just a minute when I finish this one drawer. I'll take the camera off the tripod and I'll show you what it looks like. Now when you're staining and you're doing a nice even strokes across the top, just make sure that it's well soaked in. If you're using a cloth method, if you're using a brush, you can just brush that on and then wipe off the excess like this. I find that I do tend to waste a little bit more of the product if I'm brushing on and then wiping it off. So, hey Sonia from Richland, Missouri. Lovely to have you join us. We're talking about stain and finishing oils. We're using Fusion's cappuccino mixed with their clear natural colour just to lighten up the dark chocolatey cappuccino a bit. I'll show you in the beginning what the drawers that I'm working on, which are painted. Guys, oops, it says my connection's a bit dodgy, so hopefully we're all good. Let me know if you're still there. Send me some hearts. Hey Joe. She's laughing. My husband. What did he say? Did I miss something? Did he say something? I'm using his old sock. I promise it's an old one. But it's great for lint-free. Yeah, a little advertisement for Globe. Or is it Nike? I don't even know. Good advertisement for using good quality cotton socks. All right, so now another thing I wanted to mention is if you're using stain and finishing oils on drawers, don't forget to get this top section here, because when you open the drawer, that will always be seen. It's up to you whether you do the sides. You could finish the whole drawers if you like. I haven't even cleaned these ones out on the inside yet, but I'm just wanting to just finish these drawers to start with. Sometimes I'll just do like a natural finish on the inside of drawers just to give it a nice wood finish. But don't forget to get these top sections here. So I really love the look of that so far. You can see the before and the after right here, and I'll show you a close-up in just a minute when we're finished. Oops, a little bit too much. And the stain with the oil really penetrates the wood grain. So don't forget, you can also use the stain and finishing oil over painted pieces, and a lot of people have done that. You can look up Fusion Mineral Paint's site to show how they use it over painted pieces. I can't remember if I don't think I've done any painted pieces yet with this finishing oil over the top, because it just really, it's sort of like using a glaze or a wax. You can change the colour of things. It is best to have raw wood if you're wanting to do to get the stain penetrating in the wood. That's the best results I find, is using it over raw wood. Now, I'll show you this. Beautiful. I just love the feel of it. Now, when that dries properly, and it shouldn't have any tacky feeling on that if you've removed all the excess, but you do need to let that dry, and you let it dry for a good, remember there's a difference between drying time and curing time. It'll tell you the drying time on here, probably 6 to 12 hours or something like that. But curing time is always, for any paints or stains or finishes, it's always about 21 to 30 days to make sure that it's really, oh actually, hang on a second, I'm just answering comments. Joe says, put it back in his cupboard, he'll never know. Oh, that's funny. Yes, I love this colour. So let me just, again, I'll just take this phone off the stand so I can give you a good look. Flip you around. And here's the finish. So don't you love the difference? Now I'll just show you, the sunlight's hitting that perfectly for me. It's giving you a really good look at that colour against the before. Here's the before. And here's the after, and that's Fusion Stain and Finishing Oil. If you're in Australia, grab it off my website at irestorestuff.com. This is the colour Cappuccino mixed with Natural, which is clear. So I've just given it a half strength look. The Cappuccino is actually a lot darker than just that. Now, it really does depend, I'm just going to try and reach something behind me here. So it does depend on the strength. Whoops. And it depends on the actual wood that you've done it on. So here's my sample board, and I've used plain Cappuccino on just an ordinary pine. So this is on pine, and see how dark that Cappuccino is compared to this, where I've strengthened half of it. But again, you will have a completely different colour. It even looks a lot more chocolatey on this plain pine board than it does on here. But remember, you've got different wood types as well, so it's going to react differently to different woods. My best tip for you is to test a sample board of the piece that you're using. If you're doing it on drawers, no, that's a bit of extra paint that's been splattered underneath, and I've just gone over the top of it, because yay, we embrace the imperfections. It's a really old piece. What was I going to say? Best tip is to test a piece. If you're working on drawers, you might want to test some of this on the inside of the drawer. On the inside, the back there, it'll be the same wood if it's not a veneer. That's a great tip for you there. And once again, here is the piece that these drawers will be going into, and I'm going to be staining the top of this in the same stain. So I'd love to see, I'm going to see how well this wood, what do you call it? The putty covers with that colour. In fact, I might just show you a little bit of that now. I was going to just leave it there, but I think I have just taken my glove off. I just wanted to see and give you a demo. Just tip that up a bit. Did I get any? No. So remember, I've done a half strength of the Cappuccino here. It's not as dark as you would normally have Cappuccino. So I'm just going to pop that over there. And that wood putty, it's taken quite well. So it's not as stark and white as it was before. And I don't mind that there's a little bit of imperfectness there. And in the grains here, that's actually old paint that I've just let settle in the grains. And some people might not like the imperfection of that, but I love to just leave a bit of character in these wood pieces. So there you go, that's what the top's starting to look like. And if you wanted to see and hear more about how we painted this, check out the live that I did last week on using Miss Mustard Seed's milk paint. I think it was right before Christmas, because all of everything was going on right before Christmas. And yeah, check out Miss Mustard Seed's milk paint in Artissimo. That's the colour of that. And I'm going to show you how to finish that in the next live, possibly tomorrow, or it could be later next week. So just stay tuned. I hope you're subscribing to my blog. If you want to subscribe to my blog, I've got some fun things and projects that I send to you, not even weekly-ish, I'm sometimes 2 weeks, but just every now and then. Or if you were in Australia and you want product updates, when things are going on sale, all of that kind of thing. The latest in all the products that I carry, which are Fusion Mineral Paint, Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint, Klingon brushes, Staalmeester brushes, Sandi hand sanding gloves, all of the things. You can find them in Australia on my website at irestorestuff.com, and you can subscribe right there to my newsletter if you want to join me there. Lots of fun things happening this year for 2020. I'm so looking forward to it. Happy New Year, everybody. I forgot to say that. But I'll join you again soon, and I will be not doing an Essential Stencil live this week because we're away out of town, and I'll be joining you next week on a live with Essential Stencil on their page on the Thursday. So if you're looking forward to that, I am too. Thanks so much for watching. Any questions, please drop them below. I love to answer them. Bye.